Hello, welcome to Techturks. Today I have Maureen. Maureen is the founder of Upturn. Upturn is an edutech platform that helps businesses. So what were you doing? I like to know, what were you doing before you decided to do Upturn?
Right? Okay. Thank you for having me. So Upturn is a process-driven learning platform that morphed out of our first business, the Job Mag Center, which we started in 2010. And what Job Mag was doing then was it was a walk-in center that helped people put recruitment and human resource services in place. But when we started that, not long after that, we realized that a lot of businesses needed processes and structures. And so initially we started just from our own experiences of helping them put business processes in place and so on and so forth. And the demand grew. And so we had to create an entirely new business unit to actually support these businesses in putting their processes in place. But we realized that we could only help medium-sized businesses because, as anybody would know, putting business processes in place is a lot of time, energy, and effort. And so smaller businesses, micro and smaller businesses, could not afford our services. And then we also began to think about how we could scale the whole process. And that's when Upturn was conceived, and we started toying with the idea of using tech to speed up the process. So we started thinking about it seriously just before COVID started. But COVID kind of stopped us in our tracks. And also we picked it up again last year, and we officially launched this year. So it's been an interesting journey. The experiences we gathered from our first business, the Job Mag, cut across different industries. So from banking to farming to hairdressing to food production, restaurants, and so on and so forth. So all of that was extremely insightful for us. And so it gave us the insight to be able to help these businesses put business processes in place fast. So the resources that we create on our platform is somewhat Udemy-like, but it's from a process perspective. So a step-by-step perspective.
Okay. So give me an example of what you would do for, let's say, someone that just started a business and is doing the business from home, and they are, let's say, selling very nice cakes to people, and there's demand for it. Why would they come to you, and what can you do for that kind of person?
Okay, so if they come onto our platform, the first thing that we would want them to do is to register for our foundational course. It's a process re-engineering course or a process engineering course, depending on whether you've started or not. Now, all our members actually go through that process. It's intentional because the first thing it does is to, first of all, ask you, what are you trying to achieve in the first place? What's your vision? I know it sounds cliche, but the truth is, if you do not know where it is you're going, you end up anywhere, right? And so that's where it starts from. So the course is designed in such a way that it really starts from the vision. And then after that, it's asking you, okay, so what do you even want to achieve this year? Let's not even think far. What do you want to achieve? So with the cake business, what do you want to achieve in terms of, your goals, your revenue, and so on and so forth? And then it brings you down to your strategies and the tactics that you're going to use to achieve it. So how many cakes do you want to sell on a monthly basis, on a quarterly basis, on an annual basis? And then you're now thinking about the processes that you would embark on a day-to-day basis that would help you achieve that. So we go through a systematic way of thinking about the activities that go on in your organization to help you achieve those goals. And then we work with your right-hand man as well, because a lot of businesses are extremely overwhelmed. So that lady that just started her cake business, she's going to be very overwhelmed with thinking about the quality of her cakes. But at the same time, she's going to be overwhelmed with trying to put those processes in place as well, because apart from making delicious, beautiful cakes, there's also the issue of inventory, invoicing, deliveries, and so on and so forth. And sometimes, that boring stuff takes away from the passion of wanting to bake that cake in the first place. You understand what I mean? So we want to make that boring process fast as possible, and if possible, even infuse some fun into it, because now you're learning with a community and you're understanding why those things are equally important and can help you eventually grow your business.
So if I wanted to sign up from a entrepreneur's point of view, what's the investment? When I say investment, the time that I need to put in it, and also the financial resources. How much do I pay? How much does it cost?
Okay, so our plans. So we actually have the freemium plan that I spoke about, which a lot of businesses can enjoy. So they do this foundational course, and then they can layer.
Foundational course is free.
It's free because we want everybody
to go through that.
How
long is that foundational course?
So it takes 3 weeks to learn it, but to implement it is still
ongoing.
It's an ongoing journey, yes. Yeah. And then we have our paid membership. So our paid membership starts from 25,000 naira monthly, which is quite affordable. So the members.
Okay. I'm stammering.
Don't stammer. I'll tell you the value that they get. Okay. So it's shared resources that they get under that plan, and so under that plan they can book free consultations where we literally dig deep into their businesses. They can get discounts on other process-oriented courses like, customer service-oriented courses, and courses that we will be bringing on board very soon. They would also get recruitment. So our sister company, JobMag, can also help them with recruitment. Terms and conditions apply, so they can get like maybe one recruitment every quarter, because we realize that it's not just about the process, it's like a holistic package that they'll be getting. So it starts from 25k and then it graduates to some higher plans.
So how many subscribers do you have? Or how many people have used the freemium? How many people are subscribing?
Right. Okay, so we launched officially last year.
Okay.
And we actually have almost 400 people that have freemium people that are on the platform now. So the first cohort literally just finished last week. And tomorrow, which was why I said I wasn't available, we'll be launching our second cohort and all. So, the feedback that we've been getting is amazing.
Yeah. So, which was going to be my next question. So, how do you know you're doing well? How do you know that you want to throw more resources into this, that it has legs?
Right. We predicted a lot of things when we first started, especially because we had that experience from when we were doing this on the job map, but as a brick and mortar service. We know that a lot of business owners are lonely, they're overwhelmed, especially in this terrain of running businesses, right? And it's not really for lack of information sometimes. Sometimes they know what to do. But the real issue is how to do it, how to implement it. And then in the midst of all the activities and so on and so forth, they lose track. Now, the kind of feedback and testimonials that we have been getting is, finally, this time around, I am actually going to do this thing. This time around, I have actually started it, because we've also put a support mechanism in place. So they all get accountability partners that would basically watch their progress and support them along the way to make sure that it happens. So we're not just interested in them taking it, we're interested in them implementing. Implementing is our watchword and all. So we've been getting a lot of testimonials, and people are already indicating conversions into the paid membership. So maybe the next time I come around, I'll let you know. I'll let you know.
Of course. So how are you funding this? Because it's expensive.
Yeah. Okay. So luckily, because of our first, business, like I said, it morphed out of our first business. Yes, it's now registered as a separate entity, but we funded it as a project initially under the first business. So we've been bootstrapping through that. We're actually currently trying to raise some pre-seed. At the moment, we're already getting a few angels that have been dropping a few thousands, here and there. So we are trying to raise at the moment to be able to help us scale, so we can create these courses faster, and we can have multiple cohorts running simultaneously as well. But yes, we're bootstrapping, but we're also going to be funding.
Small businesses, like you say, are engine of growth. So what you're doing is smacking. Smacking. It's very, very important. And I think education is. Everybody needs education now, because as COVID has actually meant that people have to re-engineer exactly what they're doing. And you need to re-educate people in terms of even skills. So a project, like a platform like Upturn, is an ideal spot for even a lot of organizations that actually want to work with people like you. And the people who are interested in funding this kind of platform, because it is actually required.
Yeah, so there are people there. So we just wanted to gain a little bit of traction so that we can then approach these businesses. We're already identifying partners. We're already even in some early stage talks with other organizations. So like some fintechs that are interested in even providing loans for some of these businesses. And I know they'll be much more happier to fund businesses that are better structured because they know that their monies will come back, right? And then we're also in talks with organizations that provide softwares. So Nigerian-based or specific software. So like accounting softwares that are Nigerian-based that so as you're paying, it's going straight into your bank account and so on and so forth. All of those, as you're receiving funds rather, it's going straight into your bank account and it's also updating on these software. So we're also in talks with companies that can provide specifically oriented software for people in Nigeria and wherever we're expanding to. So yes, we're seeing opportunities like that. And then there are just some organizations that they have, their mission is, poverty elevation and women empowerment and initiatives and so on and so forth. So there are organizations like that that would want to, use us to be able to, reach their target audience. Yes.
Of course, this is March, and March is Women's Month. And so, women in business, are you seeing a lot of women like trying to like improve their chances of driving their business and coming onto your platform? Yes. What's the mix?
The mix people right now, I would say it's about 67. I haven't checked the figures recently, but I would say about 67% of them, the last time I checked, were women. But we've had some more influx, so I don't have the latest figures. But it's interesting to know that yes, a lot of women are. Some of them have some of them are running their businesses part-time, but they're looking to transition into full-time. And they really need that support to be able to do so. Yes.
So last question. So like this time next year, where do you see Upturn? I mean, like what do you expect? This is what you I mean, like exactly what you said earlier on. Like what do you expect of Upturn this time next year?
Hopefully with our secured funding, which will also help us expand our growth journey. We're also targeting to have gotten to like 5,000 members. But for us, it's not just the membership. So as they're coming into our platform, we're interested in where they're at the moment. So what's their revenue range? What's their staff strength? We get those details from them from the onset because we want to be able to say by next year, our members have grown by X. They've grown by 10%, they've grown by 20%. As a result of, structuring their business and growing, they've been able to hire 3 additional staff. They've been able to increase their revenue by XYZ. So that's the goal for us. And so in 2 years' time, hopefully we'll have those numbers and we'll be able to measure the delta in terms of growth.
Maureen, thank you very much for coming to Techturks.
Thank you very much for having me.
We'll see you again. We'll continue the conversation offline.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate you guys having me. Thank you.